For many years, Harley-Davidson's Twin Series motorcycles had dominated the field of flat track racing. But all of that was about to change with Indian's revolutionised Scout FTR750. The FTR had proven itself worthy and claimed victorious at the AFT Championships 3 years in a row. And if that wasn't enough dirt to rub in Harley's face, Indian had devised a cunning plan to produce a road-legal version of the successful Scout FTR, but with a bigger engine. And I, for one, did not want to miss out on this opportunity.
Now he's recording.
Oh, okay. It's not natural now.
No, it's
now
not.
You got to force it. Yeah. God, it's like forcing a poo. You never do that.
Oh dear. So where are we?
We are at Jacob's Well, and we have the Indian FTR1200 S. That's right.
That's better.
What a bloody beast this thing's been.
Very strong.
That was awesome. I could do that all day.
Now the 2020 model, same specs as the 2019, nothing's changed, but just a bit of a reminder, pretty sure 123 horsepower, 120 newton meters of torque. Yeah, all the same stuff. With the S, you get a touchscreen dash, which I love, and works with your gloves. That's fantastic. That's blown me away. I haven't seen that on any other bike yet. I'm sure there'll be some coming out with it. But yeah, the touchscreen on there, fantastic. 3 different riding modes. Well, 4 actually. You've got your rain, normal, and sport.
And track.
And then track. And on track, it even comes up with a little, "Are you sure you want to?" "Yes, sir." And it turns off your traction control, turns off your ABS. It's all you then. So for all you hooligans out there who don't like your electronic aids, that's for you. And it's a 1203cc 60 degree V-twin. No, I'm serious, 60 degree.
60 degree.
Yeah. Lionel, what did you think?
Mate, fun.
Fun?
Fun. It's a lot of fun. The bike is full of surprises. The power delivery, the comfort, the brakes, and so on. It's just, it surprised me. I really didn't think it would be that much fun.
The power delivery is strong but smooth, and it makes you feel a bit like a kid again. Get on the throttle, it does get rather light, and you've got to be conscious of that. It does run out of puff rather quick too. So you got to be conscious of, oh shit, it's up, oh, I better put it back down.
Yeah, there's a corner coming. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, and it doesn't come up fast, you know, it comes up nice and steady.
Does in first.
You can have yeah.
Yeah, it does in first, yeah. Just easy on the throttle in first.
Yeah, don't get too carried away. So much torque down low in the rev range, right up to the mid-range, starts to run out of puff a little bit up top.
Yeah, it revs out to 9,000, I'm pretty sure, but I wouldn't bother over 7.
That's right, like, yeah, it's pointless. All the fun is below that, you know. Yeah, and how good is the sound?
Yes. Yes, with this upswept exhaust, the acro exhaust, it's still got the cats in there, but it's acro after that, and it's just a beautiful note. When you first start it, it's sitting there idling, it's got a lovely note, but it's not too loud. It's not ridiculous and obnoxious, it's just lovely.
Yeah, it has that real lumpy V-twin sound, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then you open the throttle and it gets better.
Everything gets better.
It does. We've had a lot of fun today out on the road and taken it through some of the twisties. And it handles really well. What do you think of the suspension?
Surprisingly good, yes. It feels a little firm to start with.
It does.
But once you hit a few bumps, it actually soaks the bumps up quite well.
Yeah. It's what do you say, 150 mil of travel front and rear, fully adjustable front and rear. And the seating position, it reminded me of a motocross bike. Your feet are quite high, the handlebars are quite high with the seat, and it really keeps your back straight, and it was surprisingly comfortable and really familiar to me. I've done a lot of dirt bike stuff, and this just felt just like it. And it really made me want to just throw a leg and really get into it and get it dirty. And that's what we ended up doing as well. We had a little bit off-road fun. Just blew me away. The suspension, quite stiff, soaks everything up fantastically. You don't feel any harsh bumps or anything like that. And it really just, started to feel like a kid again.
Off the tarmac and into the dirty field, with a twist of the wrist, the rear end broke loose and started to dance the majestic sideways dance of its people. Scaring me with its slithering moves and thundering roar from the open flowing acro exhaust had me pinging like an 18-year-old at his first electro rave.
You gotta steer it with the back wheel. Steer it with the throttle.
My confidence was raised with the amount of control and positive feedback I had received from the front end, which allowed me to push it harder each time. However, keeping in mind the rear shock is attached from swing arm to frame with no rear linkage, so its off-road capabilities are very much limited. Even with the 150mm travel, it's not enough to soak up the deep ruts and crevices on harsh terrain. After all, its name, Flat Track, really goes without saying.
This would be actually so much fun on a flat track. Yeah!
Now with my short, stumpy stature at 170 centimetres, standing up on the bike was somewhat manageable. But if I had a pair of stilettos, I'd consider a taller set of Pro Taper bars.
Another thing I noticed too, sitting fairly upright, you've got really good vision, and you look down, and it's one of those few bikes I can actually see the front tyre.
I can't.
While you're cruising along.
It's probably again the height thing.
Yeah, that's really weird.
But
like the front mudguard's missing.
Yeah, well, it is a short mudguard on it, isn't
short,
it?
Yeah.
I did notice that with the seating, it kind of pushes your butt forward, so you kind of feel quite close to the handlebars, and it's pushing on your back, and it keeps you up straight. How I feel, anyway. And again, it's similar to dirt bike, and I think personally, I reckon I could ride on it for quite a while.
I think I could too.
Yeah.
Just pick your fuel stops.
Yeah, 13 litre tank, not going to get fast, 1200cc V-twin, no. Or get a car to follow you with some fuel in the boot. When it comes to the weight, I think they've really thought about that and done what they can to really help out, because the fuel tank is actually back here, not under here. So they've distributed the weight where they can to, I suppose, make it more even and handle better, and it really, you notice it.
For once, it's good to see a motorcycle not mismatching its stopping power with two different brands. The FTR is fitted with the good old Brembos up front and on the rear. That's including the calipers and master cylinder. Although rarely used when considering the V-twin's high engine compression with extensive engine braking, the brakes themselves provide great feedback from its progressive feel with no aggressive bites like that of a Staffordshire chewing on a tennis ball.
Yeah, I got to agree when you said the brakes are very confidence-inspiring, and you're exactly right. Pull them on and you just feel that progression in the brakes. It doesn't grab crazy, doesn't lock up, the ABS works well, and it pulls the bike up very, very well. It keeps it straight,
Yes.
keeps it in control. And I find the handling is very confidence-inspiring with these wide handlebars, and like you said, the seating position feels like a dirt bike. With the wide bars, you can just tip it in so easy. It's a great feel.
What do you think of the tyres?
Now that was the big surprise for me. You look at them and you see all this block tread and you think, well, yep, that's great for a gravel road and all the rest. And like you say, the tread doesn't go around the sidewall very far, so you're thinking, gee, when I tip this into corners, what's it going to feel like? And I got to say, it was great, far better than what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm sure a true road tyre would perform slightly better, but these are very surprising. Tipping it into a corner and it's still gripping, it's not squirming, it's not moving, and you go, gee, this is really good. I wouldn't be doing high-speed sweepers on it. I think that you'd be pushing the limits of the tyre, but it's sort of medium to low-speed, tight corners.
How do you think you'd go about with your tyre choices when going to get new tyres? Because like you got a 19, 120 by 70, 19 on the front, 150 by 70, 18 on the rear. Are you going to have trouble?
You possibly would. But having said that, there'd be a lot of adventure tyres that would suit this bike and suit those size wheels. So I think adventure tyres wouldn't be a problem. And in the adventure range, you can get tyres that are more off-road and you can get tyres that are more on-road.
Okay. Another thing that I had trouble with, again, vertical, can't make it there, short. Kickstand. The selector for the kickstand is all the way back, and me getting off and like this, trying to get it down. It's a me thing. I'm sure he was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem. Yeah, the foot is quite small for a bike that is, you can do sort of gravel roads and that sort of thing.
Something that you may be putting on the stand on the dirt.
On the stand, and the ground might be a little damp, a little bit soft. It's going to go down. It's a very small foot, so I'm sure there's a extender you can put on that just to give it a bit more.
Give it a bigger footprint.
The
switchgear on it is something that, I don't know, that might just be a bit of a pet peeve for me, but it's not real. You don't get a good click or anything like that. It's very subtle. So you find yourself double checking to make sure with the indicator that you've actually hit the indicator. Where the high beam switch is on it, it's actually a trigger at the front. I found myself bumping that quite often. So the high beam would come on and poor buggers out on the road are wondering what the hell I'm doing. Self-cancelling indicators though, which that's a plus from me. Once you've turned your corner, you don't need to worry about have I got that thing turned off. Cruise control on the left works fantastic, as it should. You haven't really got anything on the right except for the trigger up here to go through your different modes and stuff. Yep. Or you could just do touchscreen.
In terms of throttle response with power modes, Sports mode is where it's at, as it will go when I tell it to go. Bang that throttle and hit warp speed. Smiles for days going full send is always a good time. As far as standard and rain mode was concerned, twisting that throttle was very dull-witted, or putting it nicely, lazy in its response. Obviously rain mode speaks for itself, and you would expect the power delivery to be decreased. But standard mode seemed too restricted, almost as if you caught the bike sleeping on the couch with its mouth wide open. I preach when I say this, keep it in sports mode. The ride is smoother and more enjoyable without using any psychic abilities to predict its response.
Mirrors were good. They sit out nice and far. Don't vibrate too much either. That's usually one of the biggest things we find with a lot of bikes these days is the vibrating mirrors. And these ones, they stayed nice and true. You could see out really well. You did see a little bit of your shoulder, but again, that's just something that you get with a lot of bikes these days. A lot of little some finicky things is what we're picking at, So overall, the bike is fantastic. It's a great finish. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I was just trying to think, what do you fault?
There aren't a lot. Like I said, we're only picking at stuff.
Yeah, like minor. Anything it would have to be minor. Not a lot of bikes make you smile as much as this one. It's like I said earlier, it's a lot of fun to ride, and that's the big word for me on this bike. it's a joy. You can have a play. You can play on the road, you can play on a bit of dirt, you can play at the lights, you can play in the corners. You can do so much on it.
For a flat track inspiration, it is it. It is just, you look at it and you're like, that I want to take on a flat track. And I want to do silly things to it, and I want it to get all dirty. These ones come with a lot of extra options and stuff for the motorbike. Pro taper handlebars. You can change your side covers on the front. We'll call it a tank. It's not though. You can change these side covers to different colours and all that kind of thing. Your seat. You can pretty much just walk in and say, pick whatever you want. You can build your own bike. It's like build your own bear.
It's an all-round hooligan bike, your weekend warrior, with its V-twin powered nakedness that keeps your testosterone levels at their peak. It's good to see the Indian stepping out of their comfort zone and appealing to a wider range of motorcycle enthusiasts, providing a match made in heaven for those who want to stick with a label that doesn't just primarily focus on cruisers. Are you listening, Harley? With a starting price just shy of 21k Australian for the base model, the S is only an extra $2,000 dues, which includes a 6-axis IMU system, fully adjustable suspension, and a 4-inch touchscreen LCD display. That's a fair bit of goodies for an extra small price to pay. Some people may stick their nose up in regards to the price, but it's pretty much on par with the rest of the competition in its class. To get the full experience of the Indian FTR1200 or 1200 S model, head over to TeamMoto Triumph and Indian located in Moss Street, Slacks Creek, Queensland. For more information and details, head to the description tab below. If you have enjoyed our video review on the latest Indian FTR1200 S, make sure to give a big thumbs up by smashing that like button. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below if you have any questions, and be sure to head over to our official 60 Degrees YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe and bell icon to keep up to date with our latest reviews, but most importantly, get on your two wheels and free the soul. Thanks for watching.